Merry Christmas. Okay, it's not Christmas yet, but Merry Christmas season, everyone. I put my Christmas lights up and we're feeling jolly. And so when we're feeling jolly, that sounds terrible, we're gonna make a Christmas themed dish today. We are going to make the ultimate keto cottage cheese gingerbread cheesecake. Yes, gingerbread cheesecake. I like gingerbread in moderation. Gingerbread cookies can be a little much, but I think in a cheesecake form, they're gonna be perfect. Don't go anywhere, subscribe, hit the like. I'm Dave, by the way. Let's get into it. I've got almond flour to start us off, always fancy almond flour. And the almond flour is for the crust. I can't find any of my dishes. We need 1 cup of it into a bowl and preheat your oven to 350. It was weird, I turned on my oven the other day. Oh, we want 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Turned on my oven the other day and then I finished the cooking. And I come out here like an hour later and it still felt hot and it was still making the fan noise that it makes when it's running. And I put my hand in there, it was still hot, still producing heat, even though I had turned it off. Like it said it was off and everything and it was still had the little fan running. That's a little scary, it's a little scary. Samsung, maybe avoid those because that's what this is. I'm gonna microwave up 2 tablespoons of butter. Once that's nice and melted up, I usually don't let it get all the way melted. Oh, crap, my bad. I'll mostly melt it and then mix it to get all the chunks out, basically. Before I add that in, I'm gonna take my monk fruit sweetener and add 2 tablespoons. Now you can use erythritol or whatever you like, but I'm gonna use monk fruit. 2 tablespoons of it into the almond flour. And then we will add the butter in there and whisk that all up. Did I spill more just now? It might not even, I didn't even look at the cameras to make sure they're in the right spot. Anyways, there we go. Whisk that all up to make our cheesecake crust. I'm a little concerned that I lost some of the butter. Now I got a springform, not foam, pan, which these are fancy. They like to open and close. That's gonna make it easier to extract the cheesecake in a little bit. Now it says to grease. We're supposed to grease and parchment paper this thing. So maybe I grease the sides, parchment paper the bottom, or maybe I'll just grease the whole thing with butter. What would you do? Let me know in the comments. But we're gonna use butter. You can use like a Pam spray too. I just don't have any because I used it the other day. I used the last of mine to grease up the wheels on my wagon. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but my wagon had squeaky wheels. So I was like, I wonder, I didn't have any WD-40. I said, what if I just used Pam spray? And it worked great. It worked great. So there you go, life lesson. All right, so I greased that up, pretty good. I'm gonna try to parchment paper the bottom too. Then I gotta like cut it out custom. I'm gonna try to not parchment paper it. Hashtag here come the regrets. Dump our crust in there and just push it down onto the bottom of the pan. Hopefully this doesn't get stuck. It might. It's very, very possible. But yeah, so to get my oven to turn off when it was doing that, I had to take the power out of the wall on it. And then it finally turned off. That seemed pretty sketchy to me. I need to call the electrician. I don't know. But I don't know if it's an electrician problem. I think it's just the oven being crazy. All right, so crust is at the bottom. Maybe never to be removed. We'll see. Now you can pre-bake that for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna throw mine in there for 10 minutes or so just to get a little like nutty aroma. Next we want cottage cheese and we want 2 cups of it. And I'm just gonna put it into my measuring cup here. 2 of them, I'm using original small curd, I think it's small curd, cottage cheese, and we're gonna blend the curds out anyways. So there's 1 cup and let's do a 2nd cup. All right, there's a 2nd cup of cottage cheese. We will put our lid on. Oh, I gotta plug it in, huh? It just shot cottage cheese up at me. All right. Okay, so we'll blend this up and then I'll tell you a little bit more about my Christmas light adventure. All right, something smoking. Okay, so that got a little smoky pretty quick. Interesting. I think it's okay though. It's like a little bit browned, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I think I pulled it out at the right time. So maybe only do 5 minutes on the crust because that was after about 5 minutes. All right, but our creamy cottage cheese is done. And what we want to do with that is just put it into a bowl if we're so capable of doing so. Vanilla, spices, orange zest. We want to add in 1 full block of cream cheese, 8 ounces. softened to room temperature, which mine has been sitting at room temperature for about 2 hours. So I'm trying to think of where I put my mixer. Like not the blender thingy, but the normal mixer. I don't know where it is. I mean, I know I got that big mega one in the back, but I don't even like using that. It's such a pain. I like the little handheld ones, and I own 2 of them, but I don't know where they are. It's just typical cooking with Dave, guys. If you're new here, half of the time it's me not being able to find stuff. Anyways, we want to add our spices in with the cream cheese and cottage cheese. Our spices shall be half a cup of our monk fruit or erythritol sweetener, 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Remember, we're gonna get a gingerbread flavor here. This is my half teaspoon. I'm gonna do it 3 times to get my 1.5 total. A half teaspoon of ground ginger, hence gingerbread, makes sense, makes sense. A pinch of ground cloves, just a pinch. What does a pinch equal? I don't know, just a tiny little pinch. And there you go. And a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which will just be the half teaspoon twice. And then we're gonna mix this up. And I really wish I had like a blender, but I also know it says to not overblend it because that can mess it up. We're gonna start off just trying with a fork. This is gonna tell me if my cream cheese is soft. Because if it's not soft, this ain't working with a fork. You would definitely need a mixer if you don't have softened cream cheese. All right, it's kind of working, so I think we're doing okay with just a fork. I could use my whisk too, but I don't think that'll work. So we're just mixing this all up. Optional addition, a little bit of orange zest, like the zest from the peel of an orange. I'm not gonna do it, and the reason I'm not gonna do it is because I really want it to taste like a gingerbread cookie, and I think that adding orange, while probably would elevate the flavor profile, would take away from the gingerbreadiness of it. Okay, so it's still pretty chunky. What the crap? I don't know if you saw that or not, but I can tell you what happened. I was trying to get the almond flour off my whisk and I hit it and it flew out of this thingy and it's somewhere on top of the shelf or the cabinet or gone forever is that wire whisk. Not even a wire whisk, plastic whisk. Hey, look, I found it. I'm such a mess, but look, I found my blender thingy. We good. Now this is not the right attachments for this, but it's pretty close. Welcome to Cooking with Dave. Have you hit that hype button yet? That's the new button they added. You gotta hit that. It helps my channel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, they're all falling out. New. All right. Blend till smooth. We did it. It also says not to overblend, so it's a little confusing. Either way, we're gonna say it's good. Look at me, I'm cleaning as I go. Kind of. Moving it off camera. Eggs, 3 eggs, room temperature, add. Bit a little mixeroo with the whisk until it's nicely added. Then we add the second one, no shells. Little mixeroo again. And then we add numero trace again. Uh-oh, shell that time. Ew, I got it, guys, I got the shell. Mix it again. Now I got egg all over my hand. Well, leave it to Dave, always a mess, always a mess. All right, I'd say that's nicely mixed together. All right, so ChatGPT, you know, if you guys are new here, we use ChatGPT to come up with the recipes, and often it leads us astray. It was trying to make me do some sort of a water bath. That seemed like a lot of work. You ever heard of this? Apparently that's a thing. If you do like a water bath, they call it a Bane form or something. I don't know. We ain't doing it. It wanted us to wrap it in aluminum foil and then put the whole thing, dump it out, into a water bath so that it cooks and doesn't cause cracks in the cheesecake. But you have to be very careful because the water could get into the springform pan if you don't wrap it tightly enough with foil. And I was like, will it still taste good even if it has cracks? And ChatGPT said yes. And so I told ChatGPT that I don't care about cracks. I just want it to taste good like a gingerbread cheesecake. I'm not trying to win a baking contest here. I'm just trying to make something delicious known as a gingerbread cheesecake. So we're gonna put this in the oven, 300 degrees. It said without the water bath, I can't do 350, I gotta do 300. So we're gonna drop it down to 300 degrees. Anyways, Bain Marie is what it's called. I'm gonna put this in the oven, 300 degrees for 60 to 70 minutes. And when we come back, hopefully we have an amazing cheesecake in the gingerbread fashion. I will say, the cool down process on this puppy is a long one. I'm reading through this. After it's done for like an hour and 10 minutes, and it's like just the center is like a little jiggly, but the outsides are set, I'm supposed to turn off the oven, open the oven door, hopefully my oven turns off this time, and let it sit in there for like an hour to start cooling. And then I take it out and put it in the fridge for 4 hours to cool it even more. So I don't think I'm gonna get to try this until like 7 tonight. I'm a little bummed out. I thought I'd get to eat a cheesecake in an hour, but such is life. All right, guys, cheesecake. I technically have not waited the 7 or so hours I'm supposed to, but I'm too excited. It looks good. It has been about, let's see, I cooked it for about 80 minutes at 300. Then I opened the oven door and I left it sitting in there for like another hour to cool off. But it's still not fully cool, but I don't really care. Technically at this point, I'm supposed to put it into the fridge and let it fully cool, but I don't have the patience. I want to see what it looks like. I want to taste it. Yo, remember this is keto, fully keto cottage cheese based cheesecake. And this looks so legit. It looks exactly like cheesecake. Let's hope the taste is where we need it to be. So I'm just making some slices here. I grew up in a house that ate warm cheesecake. If you want, you can be patient. That's optional. Look at this. Yeah, look at that. Look at that cheesecake, guys. Gingerbread cottage cheese cheesecake. Looks delicious. I'm gonna try it. I hope it tastes as good as it looks, because it looks perfect to me. Ooh. It tastes like gingerbread. Well, that's really good. It's subtle. It's not too much. That's really good. All right, so we basically have a perfect gingerbread cheesecake. I was gonna say cheesesteak. Perfect keto cottage cheese gingerbread cheesecake. You need to try it. Make sure you do. And I will let this cool. I wanted to try a little taste of it. I also didn't want to wait 4 hours to finish this video because it's already 5 o'clock. I don't want to finish this video at 9 p.m. I just don't. So I'll put it in my fridge and I will have more tomorrow once it fully cools, but it's only gonna get better from here, not worse. It's gonna get better. So yeah, try it out, guys. Subscribe, hit the like. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.